Hello everyone, today's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all. I just released three shorts talking about child abuse in China, both in families and schools. The situation of child abuse in China is very severe. If you want to know something about China, especially what happened to the kids, to the children, child abuse is one of the things that is happening to the kids in China. Me and my wife, we were raised by those abusive teachers. They slap us. You can't believe that, right? They slap us and they kick us. They verbally abuse us. That's very commonly seen in China 20 years ago or 30 years ago. And this situation is, uh, for some large extent, ignored by Chinese parents. And I vividly remember that my parents they were working at universities. They were university teachers. The day they sent me to school, my mother told my teacher, I quote, "Be strict with him. If it is necessary, you can beat him up." That is the words my mother, as a teacher, saying to another teacher, my teacher. So this very horrible words to a kid, and I believe the reason why Chinese parents ignore these treatments from the teachers is that it lies in the culture, Chinese culture, especially Confucius culture. So in Chinese culture, we believe, in Chinese we say it, 君君臣臣父父子子君君君君. The first 君 is a verb. It means to listen to or to be obedient to be loyal to the king or be loyal to the emperor means 君君. The first 君, the verb. The second 君 is a noun, the emperor. 君君. 臣臣. Chen is a subject, right? As a noun, it's a subject. As a verb, it means be loyal, be loyal, be loyal as a subject, or be loyal as a prime minister, some kind title that like that. And fu, the first fu is a verb. It means to serve your father as your father. Be obedient to your father, something like that. And 子子, 君君臣臣, 父父子子. 子子 means to treat your son like he is your son. So that means you have every right to your son. We in China, in culture, the culture considers the son or the children as a property of our own. So my kid is a property of mine, and I am property of my father. My father is a property of the country, of the emperor. So that is the value of ancient Chinese. So this culture has greatly influenced Chinese people's minds. So to this day, that's the reason, that's a deep reason rooted in every teacher in China. They believe that the children should be treated very in a very strict manner. So they have every right, including to beat the kids. So there's a Chinese saying that 棍棒底下出孝子. means bats and sticks and bats. 底下 means under the sticks and under the bats. 出孝子 means comes an obedient son. So Chinese believe that if you want an obedient son, you need to use a bat or use a stick. So this is the ugly side of Chinese culture. Yeah, my son goes to Canada schools, elementary school. The first impression of his teacher to me is that he is so nice that he speaks in a very gentle way. I was totally blown away because I've never seen such a teacher in China, especially in elementary school. I believe these years things are improving in China, but far from perfect. I have some pupils my own, and they told me their teachers still verbally or physically abuse them. So that is very tragic in China, but deeply rooted in Chinese people's mind. Very sad. They're still beating their children. They still believing that they have every rights to their children. The children belongs to them as a property. So if you want to learn Chinese, you have to understand the people, what kinds of person, what kinds of ethnics that speak the language. So some tragics happen to a certain kind of people. So that is one of the reasons in China we have a dictator, because deep in our heart, from the bottom of our heart, the Chinese adores strong men. They believe in 君君臣臣父父子子. They want to be loyal to a dictator. That is a mindset of Chinese people. So child abuse looks like a social phenomenon, but deeply is a cultural phenomenon that cannot be solved in an easy way. So it cannot be solved from the law. In Chinese law, there are very uh, good laws, very comprehensive laws to protect the rights of children and women. But as you know, they are not properly protected. Just like the news, the chained woman, yeah, the chained woman in China, a woman who is human trafficked by a peasant, and the peasant chained the woman in a cabinet and forced the woman give birth to 8 children. So that is the very big news in China for the last 1 year. So that is the situation, basic situation of children and women in China. So they violate the basic rights of those vulnerable people, and they don't care about that. And the government lies and lies, keep on lying about their deeds, their wrongdoings. Even the government is helping some peasants, helping the local government is helping the human traffics. That is totally unacceptable, but you have nothing to do with that. The people fight back, and when the people fight back, the government arrest those fighters and put them into mental hospitals, and these people disappeared. Just like that, disappeared. So if you consider China as one of the worst countries in the world in terms of women and kids protections, you're correct. I'm with you. Okay, I want you to know something about China. I'm not saying that every aspect of China is good. I want to tell you or teach you a truth or the truth of China. We have our bright culture, the breeding culture, a long history. We also have the ugliest part of human nature as Chinese.